So this video details how your SoCal Edison bill changes once your solar system is turned on. This video is made for homeowners who set up their solar system under NEM 2.0. If you're unsure what NEM program you are on, you can call SoCal Edison. Generally, homeowners who had solar installed before April 2023 are under NEM 1.0 or 2. So let's take a look at how net energy metering works with NEM 2.0 customers.
Net energy metering, or NEM, works a little differently than other types of energy rates, so once you're enrolled and interconnected, your bill will have a new look. Your NEM bill may include both credits and charges, as well as some flat fees, and can take a little getting used to. It's important to understand some of the major differences between your NEM bill and the bill you received prior to interconnection. One key difference is how and when you pay any balance you owe. Each month, you receive a bill that reflects the minimum amount due. That payment supports the cost of maintenance and operation for providing electricity through the grid. If you pay only that amount, depending upon your usage throughout the year, you may owe something at the end of your 12-month billing period. Unlike customers who aren't enrolled in NEM, your energy use balance is due once every 12 months from your permission to operate, or PTO date. This annual date is called your settlement statement. Your balance due accrues each month according to the difference between how much energy you consume versus how much energy you generate and export to the power network. Since the annual balance can vary from customer to customer, some customers may owe nothing at the end of a 12-month period, whereas others may have a balance. You can learn a lot more about how your NEM bill is calculated and how to read it at on.sce.com/NEM billcalc. Thanks for listening and stay sunny.
As a reminder, if you are under Net Energy Metering 2.0, SoCal Edison bills you on a 12-month cycle. Over the 12 months and after every season has passed, they will identify how much solar energy you produce and how much you use. The net difference between the two will result in you having a credit, meaning your solar system produced more than you used over 12 months, or you will have a bill, meaning you produced less energy than you used and had to purchase additional power from SoCal Edison at their retail rate. The reason SoCal Edison bills NEM 2.0 customers on a 12-month schedule is because all NEM 2.0 customers store their energy on the grid and use that energy when they need it. So due to the different weather patterns throughout the year, they want to get a full, accurate reading of solar production and consumption before sending a true-up or settlement bill featured here on the right. So to find what net billing month you are in, you want to refer to the first page, where I have it here circled in orange, where you can see which month of the 12 months you are in. It'll also be indicated in this box below. So this customer has been solar for 8 out of the 12 months. They have a few more months before they get a summary of a settlement bill. Now, understanding the type of charges on your bill is super important, as well as knowing which amount to pay. So as the video indicated, the amount due by that date is listed right here. These are your non-bypassable charges. These charges here are going to be the net credits. So this is factoring in your solar production and your consumption, and this is the remaining. As you get closer to your 12-month date, this number should start to dwindle. In this person's case, they are headed into summer months where they're going to see most solar production, which is really going to chip away at this number. You can also call Edison and change your settlement date once. So we recommend doing that after the summer has produced tons of credits, or starting your net billing with the summer producing a bunch of credits. So if we go down to the different types of charges on your bill, you're going to see a ton of information here. Let's review the types of charges. So this is your time of use table, and it breaks down costs by day, week, and season. Knowing when your peak and off-peak hours are can help you shift your energy use to off-peak when electricity prices are cheaper. So past and current charges are on and off-peak breakdown of your use in the billed month. If you see a negative number here, that means you generated more energy than your system, than you consumed. You generated more energy than you consumed during that period, and you may have a credit balance. The daily average usage history is a chart showing your average daily usage for the last 13 months. If you want to get a more detailed look at this, you can log into your account under the My Account section in the Edison portal. And then there are details of new charges. So the line-by-line breakdown of the charges you owe for the current month, this will match the new charges at the top of your bill. For customers who are on the monthly bill option, any applicable net energy charges will also be included here. And then the last section that we want to draw our attention to is details of tracked charges right here. So this is where you'll find a more detailed view of your energy costs and credits. Your bill tracks your delivery charges for your energy consumed and your generation charges cost to produce your electricity. At the bottom, you'll see your total, either for charges due or negative, aka credit balance. And then there's some information in the box here as well. Now let's look at two different scenarios a little bit more in depth. So on the left, we have scenario 1, and the solar customer uses more energy than the solar panels are producing. So that is why they have a $708 bill here. So in this case, the solar customer will have to pay for the extra energy they used at the rate SoCal Edison charges based on the time of day, etc. So the solar panels generate energy during the day, but if you use more energy than your panels produce, you need to get that energy from somewhere. Maybe you increased your usage after solar, you bought an electric car, you run your AC more, or maybe there was less sunshine. Either way, you had to buy additional power from SoCal Edison at their retail rate. And this appears on your bill as shown. Now, the key thing to remember here is a majority of your energy came from solar, which costs far less than if you had to buy all of your power from SoCal Edison. And here is an example of what I mean in this scenario. So let's say this customer on the left had to buy 800 kilowatt hours a month from their solar at 20 cents. That is what they're paying to buy energy from their solar. It costs them 20 cents per kilowatt hour to power the home with solar energy. And if they had to buy 800 kilowatt hours from the utility grid, it would not cost them 20 cents. So the formula we do is we take, let's say they got 600 kilowatt hours from their solar energy at a rate of 20 cents. Well, they're going to spend $120 on kilowatt hours. They did 800, so now they need to get 200 kilowatt hours from the utility company at Edison's 37 cents, lowest rate, depending on when you use this energy. I've seen it go as high as 65 cents. But for the sake of this example, you're buying 800 units of energy. 600 units came from your solar. You need 200 from the grid. The 200 from the grid is going to cost you $74. So if you want to figure out how much it will cost you for 800 units of energy with both solar and grid, you would take those two numbers, add them up for a total of $194. That is how much if you have some solar panels. So the narrative here is any amount of solar panels you have is going to save you money. Even if you're not offsetting your entire bill, any offset that you can acquire is going to benefit you, because if you had to buy all 800 kilowatt hours at the current rate of 37 cents, you're going to pay $296. And that is just taking your calculator, doing 800 times 0.37 cents to get $296 for the same amount of energy. So don't get discouraged if you're using more energy than your system produces. You are still saving a significant amount by having solar on your roof. Now, in this case, this customer has a few options. One, they can continue to buy that power from the utility, or if their roof offers more space, they can add more panels and storage to their home. Now, let's say you're in scenario 2, which would be customer here in the middle, and you use less energy than the solar system produces. And that is why you don't see this amount here indicated underneath here. Basically, they are below the threshold at which their solar is producing. At Solar Solutions, our prime objective is to create an optimum balance of how many panels you need in accordance to your energy consumption. However, we also understand the importance of fitting this project within your budget. So our focus is to ensure that we don't have too much energy being produced, which ends up keep rolling over every month and you don't get to use that energy, because there's always room to add panels in the future to accommodate that extra need, but you can't take panels away. So we'd really try to find that balance for you and play it more on the conservative side so you don't end up buying energy you never get to use. So this excess energy the solar panels are generating in this scenario here in the middle is being sent to the grid and is receiving a credit for it via the NEM description. So this credit can be used anytime in the future, at night when the sun is down or when the customer needs more energy. With most solar energy systems, the amount of energy produced can significantly vary based off season, day length, weather conditions. So a balance of taking and giving back to the grid will change over the year. But these factors should be considered when checking your energy bill. So just to summarize here in the middle, this customer is basically producing more energy than they are consuming, and so they do not have an additional cost to buy power from the utility grid. Everyone does have the non-bypassable charges, and you can see your rate plan here as well as the solar production here. So he in this month was producing 80 kilowatt hours more than he used, and they accumulate over time. Ideally, you want to be as close to this line as possible, not over, not too far under. I would say it's better to be a little bit under, meaning you're producing more than you're using. But again, every home is different. As people adopt electric vehicles, work from home, and their lifestyle changes, these things can change. But the overall great news is a majority of both of these customers' power is coming from a fixed energy renewable source. And then at the end of the year, your bill after 12 months with NEM 2.0 will look like this, called a settlement bill. And the settlement bill will basically be a difference, like we talked about, of are you producing more than you're using, are you using more than you're producing? And you have 12 months, and you'll see that amount pace over time. So for the first 11 months, it's going to look like this. Year-to-date charges tell you the month, and then when it's due in 12 months. On that last 12-month, your bill will look like this. It'll be your settlement bill, and you'll settle up. So the third thing is, if you're confident you have enough panels to meet your energy needs and the system is still underperforming relative to what you think it's producing, there could be a technical issue that affects the monitoring or performance of your solar system. So sometimes your system's working fine, but maybe the monitoring or the credits aren't being tracked properly on Edison's end. There could be a lot of things that happen here. So it's our priority to advise a solution that enables you to keep an eye on your solar system. So we're always going to try to recommend an inverter with great monitoring. If you suspect that your solar system might not be functioning correctly, or there's an issue with monitoring or your credits, you can collaborate with your Solar Solutions representative to find a resolution. If you prefer handling the issue independently, that's totally okay. We suggest you reach out to Enphase if you have an Enphase inverter. Their customer care team can troubleshoot and inspect the system remotely. Or you can reach out to your installer if you're not sure what inverter system you have, or maybe you have a different one. The whole point is to start by identifying the problem and then reaching out to the contractor that installed the system, or if you are working with Solar Solutions with one of our agents, we're happy to assist in contacting that contractor for you. But at the end of the day, increasing energy usage in the future, if you're anticipating your energy usage to increase in the future and do not believe your existing solar system will cover the increased usage, and you're in the market to maybe add panels to your system, making sure you have the roof space and battery space if you're with Edison, here's some numbers that you can fall back on to understand if that system is going to produce enough energy for you. So for an electric vehicle being driven 10,000 miles a year, typically you're going to need about 2,000 kilowatt hours. So a lot of people ask me, they say, okay, well, how many panels do I need for this? Well, that's going to depend on the placement of the panels on your roof and how much sun those panels are going to get. 8 panels on a south-facing roof can produce a certain amount of kilowatt hours, and those same 8 panels on a north-facing roof will produce less kilowatt hours. So the real question is, how many kilowatt hours do you need? You can refer to this energy calculator to figure out what your need would be based off different items in your home. And if you do a lot of research online, you're going to get a whole bunch of different numbers. Just try to take the general average. We found that the 2,000 kilowatt hours per 10,000 miles of electric vehicle charging is a pretty accurate estimate. And you can refer to this calculator. There's tons of calculators online to see how many more kilowatt hours you would need. And then at that point, you just give us a call. We'll give you a proposal for the additional panels and potentially storage that you would need to cover that increased usage.